It was 30 years ago that we reported on the major minority. Well, who is this customer base and just how major are they now? Find out when we come back.
ConAgra Foods. With brands like these, we can't help but smile. ConAgra Foods. Food you love.
This week in the Lempert Report, we're celebrating our anniversary by highlighting some of the stories that we wrote about in our very first newsletter 30 years ago. One of those stories was entitled The Major Minority. When we wrote this 30 years ago, food manufacturers had done very little to attract the growing Hispanic customer base. We noted that the Hispanic population was growing leaps and bounds, in particular in New York and New Jersey in the east, Miami in the south, and California and Texas in the west. And manufacturers and retailers needed to keep up with this growing consumer. Safeway in California reported that its greatest growth was in Hispanic neighborhoods, and some national food brands such as Del Monte were beginning to offer their products with a Spanish twist. In that first edition, we reported that current estimates placed the U.S. Hispanic population to be in excess of 20 million, about 10% of the total U.S. population. Fast forward 30 years, and the need to appeal to the Hispanic shopper is still a major talking point as this demographic continues to grow. In an article we wrote just this past December, we pointed out that recent data shows Hispanics will be a leading growth source for food retailers and brand marketers, primarily because of their robust spending on food and beverages, their high degree of brand loyalty, frequent cooking at home, and the hefty forecast for their U.S. population growth. Several reports and studies have been released to help tap into this anticipated $1.5 trillion of Hispanic buying power by 2015. One recent report called The Why Behind the Buy, Hispanic Edition, from AMG Strategic Advisors made note of the importance of home cooking and mealtime being family time in Hispanic households. For example, 68% of Hispanics say over the past year they cook more often at home versus 52% of the general population, and 59% bring snacks and foods from home to work and school versus 55% of the general population. Just like the advice that we offered 30 years ago, retailers who are not taking notice of this group are missing out on a very important and lucrative segment of the U.S. population. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode, and visit supermarketguru.com for more information and more videos just like this.